Today is a huge day for WWE 2K25, arguably one of the biggest. Now, we've gotten a couple big days this year. We've gotten the Switch 2 launch. We've gotten the first DLC launch. But this DLC right here, it is 4 out of 5. And this DLC is very, very exciting. But not only did we get DLC today, we also got the addition of Goldberg and Nikki Bella. And I think that this is huge for the game and the trajectory at this point in time to get these wrestlers when we didn't think we would get them. It's definitely interesting. Now, 2K did one cool thing and a favor that a lot of people I think would consider a favor. You do not have to play the quest. Now, not a lot of people know this, but again, you can just go in there and buy your VC and just unlock the quest, and Goldberg and Nikki Bella will be in your game permanently unlocked. But I almost forgot the most important part. Yes, you don't really have to do nothing. You don't got to play no matches, none of that, but you got to do one small step that I do want to go on ahead and mention in this video. You need to go to the Hall of Legends arena and all that stuff. Walk there and you will be able to go on ahead and interact with Goldberg, Nikki Bella, have a little bit of dialogue with them, and then you will be able to go on ahead and unlock those characters permanently, as I said before. Now let's go on ahead and get into the video. So it is very simple, very clear. It doesn't have to be that you got to go and play that stuff. Me personally, I haven't played one of the chapters this year. I know it sounds crazy. I'm just allergic to single player stuff that requires me to do things like that. I would rather just go in here and play with my friends, but obviously that is not an option at the moment. But just even going back to that, you don't have to play this. You can just go on ahead, unlock the quest. Goldberg and Nikki Bella will be unlocked in your game permanently, and you can go on ahead and have fun in whatever mode you desire with those two. I know that was a discussion amongst the community for a little bit ever since we heard about this expansion pack coming via the island, and people were really upset. And my point with that is, man, give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? I get why people were upset though, but at the end of the day, like they just want you to play the game, right? They got to give you a reason, and I'm okay with giving me a reason to play the game, but you gave me an option this time. So I'm going to go on ahead and take my wrestlers and leave this mode. But before we go on ahead and get into all that, let's discuss pricing. Hi, man. Y'all see me in the island, and the frames per second in this thing is much worse than it was at release, to be completely honest. But forget all this. Y'all see me. I'm 100 overall. We going to get that all the time. But we're going to go into the store. You guys see here. Let's talk pricing, man. So if you have 0 VC right now, I would just recommend you going ahead and spend the $20. Now, I get a lot of people are going to be upset over spending the $20 because they're like, man, a regular DLC pack costs $9.99. And I do agree with you, but at least we're getting some little content on the side or whatnot. Me, if I decide to play the quest, I think that'll get my money's worth personally. But again, if you don't want to play it, you don't have to. It really doesn't matter. You're just here to get the wrestlers. I think that's the majority of the reason why players want to go on ahead and get into this quest, to get the wrestlers. But me personally, y'all see I got 7,000 VC at the top right corner, so this decision is real easy for me. We're gonna go on ahead and get the $9.99 and $4.99. That'll put me at 47,500 for just $15, and then I already got that 7,000 VC, so that'll just get me right over the hump. So it's either $20 if you don't got more than 3,000 VC, or you can spend 15 and you'll be fine. If you've been playing the island and you've been earning that VC throughout the year, this shouldn't be hard. I think the difference, right, we can talk about pricing all we want, but the difference is that if you've been playing the island in all these modes all year long, odds are that you probably got sufficient VC, or you're pretty close, or you may just have to spend $5 or $10 instead of 20. So I think it's one of those things where they kind of met us at the middle ground, but if you haven't been playing and you haven't been grinding for VC, you're kind of at a point where it's like, damn. That's just a terrible place to be at. But if you are on Xbox, I remember putting something out like this. Make sure that you guys go on ahead and do this. Let me go on ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So if you have Xbox Game Pass, what you want to do is you want to go into the Game Pass and you want to look for benefits. You want to look for these things because there is a MyRise boost and VC bundle that give you, I believe, 35,000 VC. Now, I redeemed this back in August 1st, but if you haven't watched my video from August 1st, this is something that you need to do right now, because if you go and do this, the pack will only cost you $5. So you need to go on ahead and do this right now, man. This is actually something that's very good for those that haven't played it. And if you don't have the Game Pass, potentially this may be a perk that if you want to play online or whatnot, you should go on ahead and grab this. Now, I don't know nothing about the PlayStation. I don't know nothing about any of that, but again, this is a win in its own. They're giving you ways to get the VC through the Game Pass, through the game itself. So it's not something that's just out of this world. They're giving you a way to grind for it, and they're giving you a way to buy it. Me personally, man, I'm just the type of person that's gonna go on ahead and buy it. I'm not gonna go on ahead and sit around and just wait and just try to grind for it, because I just don't have the time for it, quite frankly. So if you're like me and you don't got time, go on ahead and spend that $15, $20, get the VC, play the quest, do whatever you want to do in the game. That's just the way I look at it. I'm gonna go on ahead and spend my little $15 here, get Goldberg, get Nikki Bella, and have fun with the game, and hopefully just get motivated enough to want to play the quest, because those two were my motivation to want to play the quest, but now I have no motivation to play the quest, quite frankly. So I'm just gonna go on and have fun with them in universe mode and all that type of stuff. And not to mention, the Goldberg model looks honestly really good. And just to talk a little bit about the DLC, as we've already gotten that here today, finally, we got D'Lo, who looks amazing, Victoria, who looks amazing as well. There's just a lot of positives with this DLC pack. I don't got a full review for it, but I am happy to see these wrestlers in the game, some new characters, man, some new content to finally talk about and just play with, and again, have a reason to hop on a game and have fun, because that's all I am about, bro. If you can give me a reason to want to play this game, I'm gonna hop on a game and play the game. Again, just trying to look at it from a more optimistic standpoint. Of course, there's always down points that you could point out and be like, they could have done this better, they could have done that better, but I'll take the W's where we can, and that's just where I stand with it. I'm not the biggest fan of the island, but if they're going to continue adding more stuff like that, I just can't be against it. If you're going to continue giving people content, even if I'm not enjoying it, what's not my cup of tea could be somebody else's cup of tea. Different strokes for different folks. But we're close to going on ahead and ending out this year with the 4th DLC pack finally dropping. We got the 5th DLC pack on its way in November, so we got another month and a half, probably closer to 2 months, and that's going to be it in terms of the cycle for this game, and we're going to go on ahead and wrap it up, man. They've given us a decent amount of content post-launch. It hasn't been the most amazing year, but it has been a strong year in terms of content, and I think patches have been strong too. We've gotten some really bad ones, but we've also gotten some really good ones supporting things that we really need the game to support at this point. So I think, again, if you look at it from the positives and the cons, there's always things that you could point out from both sides, but right now we're at a point, man, where we're close to wrapping this year up, and I'm choosing to look at a lot of the positives, even though I'm hoping that the negatives do continue to get, taken care of. We're very close, and this year is soon coming to an end. Time flies, bro. It's like last year we were in January talking about, okay, what's coming in this new game, what's gonna happen. We'll have to see what happens, man. DLC with 2K always comes out pretty good. I don't really have any complaints thus far about the DLC. Again, we'll keep an eye out for those things, man. And if you guys are enjoying the content thus far, make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys like for more. And yeah, man, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna catch y'all. Hey.